Get y'all a chance to get on in here. Oh, excuse me. All right, butterflies. Welcome back to Evolving Butterfly Goddess with me, Doctress Mo. Here we are all about evolving out loud in our life, our money, and our purpose through the energy of our ancestors. I want to thank you for all of your likes, your comments, your shares, and your subscribes here on the channel. It is always appreciated. And a major shout out to all the channel members, as well as the members over on my website and the members over here on YouTube and on Patreon. Thank you for your continued support. The Butterfly School of Transformation enrollment is open until Saturday. So go ahead and get in if you have been thinking of getting in. We have started a new cohort. So we have the regular cohort, then we have the advanced cohort. So definitely check both of those out before Saturday. Let me see what else. Oh yeah, check the pinned comment. I have a new channel that will be being started where I'll be sharing like supplemental information, but more of with like actionable steps and of course some entertainment and things of that nature in there as well, on my Doctress Mo channel. So I have pinned the comment of that channel. If you could just take a moment to go follow it for me. If you enjoy my messages, if you enjoy my intellect, my knowledge, what I provide in these spaces, then you will love this channel. And I'm just asking for your support on that channel as a give and take of energy, I guess you could say. And so the agreements that I had with my spirit team and ancestral team is that when we hit 1,000 subscribers over on there, I'll begin to post content publicly on that channel versus just putting certain things in my membership area. So that is what is going on with that. Or I could just keep just talking about it in my membership area and not putting it out publicly. But I wanted to put it out publicly, but I can only do that if the public supports the channel to that standpoint to where it fits and works with my boundaries and what I feel my worth is. So definitely go ahead and subscribe to that channel. It's in the pinned comments. I'm giving y'all a chance to go do it now. If you haven't already, you can take it as if I'm begging for subscriptions, whatever the case is. It's my channel, so I can do that. Okay, so y'all are having a chance right now to go subscribe to the channel. Okay, that's the only offering I'm asking for. That's the only offering I'm asking for, that if you have not already subscribed to my new channel, Doctress Mo, that you go get subscribed to it now. Hey, Shayna. Hey, Chastity. Hey, Sophisticated. How y'all doing, Pools? How are y'all doing? Okay. And it's interesting to bring that up and talk about worth, because that has been a theme lately in regards to having your boundaries and knowing your worth and sticking to that. You know what I'm saying? Sticking to what has been set forth with you. Because whenever you lower yourself and discount yourself, it shows how much you care about yourself. And I just saw a video yesterday from one of my favorite creators. He is hilarious, and he did a skit on what it looks like when business owners sell themselves short. And that was like so much confirmation. Okay, like jazz. Okay, it was a lot of confirmation in there, because a lot of people sell themselves short because they don't see what they have to offer and what they have to give to settings and spaces. And it's like we're in this season where not only the elders and the ancestors, it's like we need to operate in what we know we are worth and what we know we deserve for on the time. And that's what keeps us from getting what we don't deserve. Okay. Hey, Audrey. Hey, Ebony. So this grandmother energy, it's many messages that came with this, okay? many messages that came with this one, and I wrote them down. Where's my other phone at? Okay, right there. Because I wrote them and I text them. Well, I text them to myself. But today I was feeling a lot of being energy. A lot of being energy. And I'm like, what, grandmother? And she kept just showing me like this pile of different beans. And I've been sitting with this energy, and I was like, I think it'll just come to me as I start unpacking the energy on the live, and the aspect of beans swell up. Beans swell up. They start off hard, crunchy, all that other jazz, right? They're just hard, small, and they're there, dried out. But once they soak in water, they get a little bit more relaxed. The outer shell starts to fall off. And then when they get cooked, they get soft and they're edible. And they can feed you. And they can hold your hunger. Beans are oftentimes taken for granted because of how basic they are or how they can appear. And some may not want to do the work that it takes for it to become edible because it's not ready as soon as you get it. But I'm hearing Jack and the Beanstalk. Of how that one bean, like it grew this tall stalk all the way up to the heavens. A small bean. Oh, it's a cardinal sitting there. It's a masculine cardinal, actually. It looks like. I can only see the top of the head, so I could be wrong. So, but the cardinal just came to start sitting with us and singing with us. So this is definitely some ancestral energy that's coming through in this session right now. Hey, Tay. You said we eating beans. And all of this feels very symbolic. Oh no, that was a feminine. All of this feels very symbolic in regards to, it's like, it may be something that you need to finish, because I had another channeled message that came out and I was hearing her say something of the sort of sticking to the plan, like sticking to what you've set out to do. Sticking to what you set out to do. And then the next piece was your attention span is working against you, and to count beans. Oh! Okay. So it's something about the boringness of beans. It's also healthy for you at the same time of what it can mean. So you can get a handful of beans and it can feel like it's not a lot, but if you sit there and count them, you'll realize it takes longer than what you would have thought it would. And it's something about your attention span. Counting beans helps you with your memory and your attention span. I don't know if someone's grandmother used to have to do that or something in the past, but it's something about with your attention span, your ability to go through the process, your ability to see through the entire process and not just be waiting on like a hot and ready and something that's already there ready for you to pick out and take and enjoy. You got to go through the process. You got to let it soak. Okay. Then you cook it on the right temperature, because you can't cook it too hot. You got to season it just right. Okay. It takes patience. It takes patience. At least I'm hearing it from a grandmother's recipe. Like, this isn't no like put it in the crock pot and just let it. Like, this is a grandmother who went through the process of cutting up onions and green peppers and things. And she appreciated the process of doing everything in the flow. So like the crock pots and all that can be a help when it comes to time. But this is going back to another message that we just did with the last one in regards to too much convenience can push you backwards in growth. So I'm hearing her say count beans. Do the boring things. The things that may feel like it's too boring and you don't, it's something about when you do the boring things, it's actually benefiting you somewhere up here mentally. When you do the boring task, it benefits you mentally. Do the boring task. You don't have to get rid of all the tasks. But count some beans. I'm literally hearing go get a handful of beans and count the beans. Literally. Literally. Daughter of coins at the bottom and she's serving beans. She's serving beans and food to the family. With the mother of sticks on the other side. Because now I'm hearing when life hands you lemons, make lemonade. So it's something about the boring task is what keep your brain going. Is what keeps your brain operating. Because now I'm seeing an analog clock. Very few people know how to read a clock. Very few people know how to tell time. She said that's scary. Like, do you know how to tell time from your shadow? It's something about not losing the old ways of doing things, the boring things. Do not lose the old ways of doing things. Do not miss the boring things. Because the boring things are exactly what you need. Like, it's something about, because I'm hearing her say this generation is just, they just always want to be aroused. They always want to do something. They always want to feel something. They always got to be, she's like, that's not good for your soul. To always be aroused. You always got to be excited to do something. Learn how to be excited with not doing anything. Learn how to be excited with just peace. Without feeling like you have to always be stimulated. It's like this constant need for stimulation right now. 8 of coins in the reverse and then the 5 of sticks in the upright. And it's causing confusion. The 8 of coins in reverse, that's taken away. Like even with right here, right? This is in the reverse. This is a man that's sitting down making his bills out. Okay? He's sitting down, doing his checks and balances, making his bills out. But this is in the reverse. So a lot of people don't even make their bills out. They just out here spending, doing whatever. They don't know what's going on. Like they don't sit down and calculate and organize and do the boring things. But the boring things is what helps you always have more than enough. I'm literally hearing her say the boring things is what helps you have more than enough. You got the free man coming out with the full card and then the 10 of baskets. Yeah, you can't get away from that, baby. So you don't have to always be elevated. You don't have to always be excited. You don't have to always be aroused for something to mean something. Okay? You don't have to always be aroused for something to have a value. Do you know what it feels when something brings you peace? Someone on here, they're very accustomed to arousal, to chaos, and all of that. It's easy to be able to pinpoint that. It's easy to be able to see it. It's easy to be able to understand it. But I'm hearing her say, you are not familiar to the energy of peace. For whoever that's for. Someone is only used to arousal, feeling something, doing something. Like, do you know what is healthy for you when it doesn't give you any of that? Because it doesn't mean that it's against you. It's something about a balance. It's something about a balance. And focus on what matters. Okay? Because somebody in here focusing on the wrong thing. Because somebody in here focusing on the wrong thing right now. Y'all thinking about something that ain't got nothing to do with the message. And I'm hearing her say, get back focused. Okay? Your attention span got lost that fast because you got distracted by something else. And That was a message that she gave me too. Distractions. That just reminded me of it. Let me pull it up. It was watch for distractions. And I made that one at 737. 737. So you may have been seeing 737, or I don't know what 737 area code is, but it was watch for distractions. Distractions are easy. It's easy in this day and age of arousal. And that's why you have to understand what peace feels like. That's why you have to understand what balance feels like, what quietness feels like, to know when you need quiet and when you need arousal. But either way it go, you need balance. Like, don't nobody want to be around somebody who's always on 10. Okay? Like, because I would be like, if you don't be quiet, like, you get on my nerves. Okay? Like, I need some quiet. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, like, I don't like to go and do things. I'm like, baby, I like to move on my own time, my own energy. Don't talk to me too early. Like, I'm not like super, you know what I'm saying, like this all the time, right? That's not me. It's balance. And this is giving something of someone feels like they have to always be aroused. They have to always be made to feel good. And this could be even in a relationship. You don't want to mess up a relationship because you feel the thrill is gone, just because you no longer feel the sparks of that fire. But you got to realize the fire is not the realness of the relationship. It's the peace and the steadiness once the fire dies down. So like starting, I'm hearing this example of when you start a grill. When you start a grill, the fire starts off big and all that, right? You don't put your meat on there then, or your vegetables, whatever you're cooking. You let the fire die down until it's at a stable place. And then you put it on there to cook. Because if not, it's going to get burnt. It's going to cook too fast and get burnt. Okay, something's going to be off. And his grandmother's energy is saying, take that energy of the grill, because you don't want to get to the place where you become addicted to the arousal. Okay, it's okay to be missionary sometimes. It's okay to be missionary. You don't have to always be doing all that wild, crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it's nothing wrong with balance, because that's the energy that you internalize and you take in. And so that also keeps you from being distracted, because you know how to, because it can be easy to be distracted by something that just gets you excited and just moved, and all they had to do was tap into a certain emotion and vibe in you, and now they got you hooked. Okay? It's like an addiction. It touches the same part of you that drugs touch, that liquor touches. It all touches the same thing, arousal. So every time we get aroused, scrolling social media and something excites us, or a cute meme excites us, whatever the case is, it touches the same thing that drugs touch. It touches the same thing that addictions touch. It touches the same thing that creates some type of an arousal inside of your body. So that's why they start to attribute to each other those sensations. And you can look that up. That's scientific, okay? Because I'm hearing her say that's why we have more addictions with the increase of social media. But it's something about, in the next 10 years, there's going to be a die down of it. So whatever you're doing, make sure you're not dependent upon it, because social media is not going to be the same social media that it is today. It's definitely not going to be the same social media that you know it is today. I'm hearing they heard you the first time. This goes both ways. So the first thing I'm hearing her say, we heard you, okay? They waiting on you to do your part. You keep, I don't know what, it's something about keeping a distraction. You need to do the boring part. You need to do the boring part. Everything is not going to be exciting. You can't expect everything to always be exciting. If you expect everything to always be exciting, you're going to miss the aspect of balance, I'm hearing her say. She said that's the problem with these young folks nowadays. They don't know how to hold on to nothing. Well, dang, grandmama energy, okay? She said y'all don't know how to hold on to nothing. They heard you the first time, so it's something that you've been asking for. It's like they heard you, okay, and you got to do your part with it. But this is also giving the vibe of stop repeating yourself to people who heard you the first time. You don't have to keep saying it again. Keep looking at these girls in the background over here talking about this girl right here. Wards 4, 5, and 9. I don't know why I'm hearing an unmarked grave. That just made a turn. Grandmother, that just made a turn, honey. What you talking about? What you talking about? Somebody needed to hear that. Somebody's wondering where something is at or where someone is at. His wards 4, 5, and 9, and an unmarked grave. So I don't know if you need to go check out some graveyards or so to look for what you're looking for, but take it as it resonates. I'm not about to sit on that though, grandmother. Okay, I don't want to get into that. I don't want to get into that. Something about these mason jars right here is standing out. Something about getting into canning vegetables, canning your fruit. Something about how it affects like the oxygen on the inside, like making your own pickles and things. Or you may just be pickling some things, broccoli, asparagus, you know. This is when you start pickling. Some of y'all gonna pickle some real interesting stuff, honey. Do you? Okay. But it's something about mason jars and pickling. Use mason jars more with your work and what you do. The energy and the symbolism within mason jars. Your grandmother used a lot of mason jars within work. Mason jars also hold a level of spiritual significance as well. And that's why they're so powerful with how they seal in energy, and the glass is very strong. It's a way that it's made. And it's a reason why its name is what it is. I keep getting these little random like visions and messages. Because I just pictured a young man like making the glass, and he's sitting there at like this little wheel, and it's like really hot, and like the spinning of it and stuff. And she's just like, if you only knew the work that goes in to make just one glass. Like, yes, they can make certain things with the machines, but there's some things that are made still by the hand of individuals. This is the one that has the crocodile head on it. Yeah, it does. All the things that mean something of value. 9 of baskets. not losing the traits of things that mean something, that brings something of value. Hmm. Your grandmother did a lot of like, it's like magic that was guised under regular ways of being. As soon as I said that, a bird literally just sat on the thing and looking at me. It's a mockingbird. And I was just saying under the guise of something else. So she made it look like one thing, but it was something else. So putting notes inside of jars, keeping notes all within her, like keeping proverbs everywhere, psalms and proverbs, which is full of spells and magic. Psalms and Proverbs is full of spell. You can find a magic or like a spell because all it is your words in Psalms all through Psalms. Like, why you think she was still able to pay bills and give things away and always have food and was on a regular fixed income? Always had more than enough. Always had someone caring for her, bringing her something, always had stuff to give away. She always had more than enough of energy or things. And it was because of her magic. But you know what's interesting, Tay? A lot of Orisha work is within Catholicism. Very much so. It's embedded within it. Don't be distracted by the words and what something looks like, and connect to the energy. Your eyes will always steer you wrong. Because now I'm imagining like different ways of how you can tell when certain foods are done cooking. They will like start to float up to the surface, right? But if you didn't know that about it, it could look done by just like Certain things could look like it's done in whatever manner if you didn't know those little tricks. And it's something about an illusion of something. So that's why she wants you to understand what peace is, what quietness is, what the state of nothingness is. Because that's when you'll be able to make a full assessment of an energy of like what's really going on around you. Because if you're only attuned to a certain way of being, that's the only thing you'll be able to pick up on and track. Making yourself more connected to and aware of other ways of being. And a big thing with that is because it's important for you to know your energy in comparison to other energies, especially if you're around other energies that are very strong. You need to know how to be able to separate your energy and the energy of theirs to where it doesn't affect yours or shift yours. And now this is taking me back to, I had posted this on Facebook earlier today of, I don't match energies, I shift it. It's like you don't have to match the energy of what's coming at you or what's attempting to come at you, but you can shift the energy that's attempting to come, okay? So whatever the energy could be potentially trying to shift, whether if it, wants to shift you into an energy of getting upset, or shift you into an energy of getting, whatever the case is, of being able to acknowledge it and see it so that you can pull back. Because if you're used to just arousal energy, it's easy to jump in on that arousal. So that's why you have to step back from the arousal aspect and allow yourself to know what that peace is and what that peace feels like. Because in this season, and not even just in this season, just in the culture overall, there's a lot of arousal and strong energy, and you're going to come across people who have really strong energies. And that's why it's very important for you to be able to close it off to yours and how you let it affect you and when you let it affect you if you do decide to. Of like knowing that there's a time and a place for everything. Something that has been trying to hold you back or like attached to you, and doesn't mean you will be falling off soon. You have the Father of Coins in the reverse with the 8 of Baskets in the upright and the Daughter of Coins. So something you may have been feeling like something has been taking a while for it to happen or come along for you, and it's because of someone or something that you're connected to, or is like holding on to you, but that's going to be falling off. So this could also be like you have something on your record and you're waiting on it to fall off, because when it falls off, it increase, your credit score increases, or you're available, whatever it is, something is going to be falling off that was holding you back. Okay. That literally just came out with this Father of Coins reverse, 8 of Baskets, and the Daughter of Coins in the upright. Because it's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming. Or you may want to look into getting something expunged off or take something off that could potentially be holding you back, I'm hearing her say, because now I'm hearing something in regards to image. So it could be you being in the space of aligning to the image of this thing. No. Grandmother energy, what are you saying? Something else has to walk away before you're able to reach something else. because it's kind of like it has this weighing on you. So it doesn't even have to be that it walks away physically. It could be you mentally disconnecting from it. So once you become aware of a certain energy or a certain thing, you disconnect yourself from it so that you're no longer tied to it. So you don't even have to, if it's a person, for example, you ain't got to go to the person and be like, oh, I'm done with you and this is blah, 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 and you're the demon. Like, you ain't got to do none of that. All you have to do is just internally release it, and actions speak for itself. All you have to do is just release it, and your actions speak for itself. Someone is trying to bring too much of their old life into their new life. And it ain't working, baby. It ain't working. You got to let some of your old self go. It's like someone is trying to hold on to too much of their old self that doesn't align with the frequency that they desire. It's like someone trying to make something fit or keeping it there with this 5 of Knives coming out under this 8 of Baskets. Like someone is refusing to accept the truth of a situation. It's like denial. Something needs to be let go of in order to walk into this new level of life. And this is internal. This is no one doing anything against you. This is you and your decisions, you know. So you can't, you know, it's like when it comes to shifting frequency, shifting energy, did you really do it if you're still doing the same things that you were doing before, right? With the same mindset and the same eyes. It's like you had to have a different mindset and a different set of eyes when you look at things from a new space. It's like it's some levels of moving different. The internalization of things. If I was to look at both of these as if they were times, it would be like 3:02. And this would be like 6:10. Is there an old way of thinking and operating that you may have to do a little extra to force it to fit into this newness? Because you have to be willing to let some of that stuff go, because it doesn't align with the frequency that you have until you master this new frequency. And then you can allow yourself to, you know what I'm saying, enjoy certain things because you're viewing it from a different level of like consciousness and things of that nature. But you'll find yourself realizing that once you shift, you're not even going to be interested in it anymore. Because some things you do grow out of. Some things you do grow out of. And you have to be okay with growing out of it. But stop and ask yourself, what were the last things that you didn't allow yourself to grow out of? Where were the last things that you grew out of? What was that like? Was it an easy process? Did you part easily? Or is it something that you still, you know, want to make meaning of or internalize or connect with, but you really don't connect with that anymore? You know, it could be old friendships, and it's like you want to find a way for it to work. You want to find for this relationship to still stay connected, even though y'all going in two different You know, you still want to find that one string that keep y'all connected, okay? Not realizing that one string that keep y'all connected, eventually the elasticity is going to be gone. So then what? Someone's going to have to cut the cord eventually. Who or what are you holding on to that does not align with you anymore, and you want to be aligned with it? You want to connect to it, but it connects to an older part of you now. It's like as we shift in things of that nature, our interests change. It's like trying to keep, so like for example, say you love reading the Babysitter's Club's books, right? Simple chapter books. You know, they're written for what? Preteens, right? But now you can read philosophical adult books with big words. Okay? So you've moved up to those types of books, but you choose to still just keep rereading the Babysitter's Club over and over. Over and over and over. Over and over. When you need to be picking up the bigger books now. You need to be picking up the grown folk books. You need to be picking up the new skills and the things to help you be able to incorporate and internalize the things that you're working on and you want to do. We all do things when we're ready. But this definitely gives, like, even thinking about like the upgrade to like the bigger books, right? There's now going to be words in the book that you don't know how to spell, that you don't know how to pronounce, that you don't know the meaning to. So now it's kind of like you're a beginner student again. I'm hearing, don't be afraid to be a student again. Like, don't be afraid to be a student again. Go learn some big words. Go learn some big words. 3 of Wands coming out. Go learn some big words. And then the 5 of Coins coming out in the reverse. Sometimes elevation or like walking away is out of fear of what could be. So like when you feel those moments of like fear or doubt, say to yourself, what if everything works out perfect? Literally, because the reason why you start getting nervous and afraid is because you may start thinking in your head of what you don't have, what's lacking, the 5 of Coins. But to turn that in the upright, it's like, what if everything just happened perfectly? Okay? What if everything happened perfectly? What if it happened according to how I wanted it? how I desired it, how I visualized it. What if? Start saying that to yourself. Be okay with, you need to test yourself. You need to, work out your brain. You need to work out your boundaries. You need to do all of that. You need to do all of that. But staying with the familiar out of fear of what something could be. So like being afraid to take off your training wheels because you may fall on the bike. You gonna fall a couple times, okay? Eventually you gonna get tired of falling and you gonna perfect the balance on the bike. And you ain't gonna fall again. Okay? And this is giving that vibe of don't be afraid to take the training wheels off. Don't be afraid to take off the training wheels and experience something from another perspective, because you can only go so fast with the training wheels on. That's why they're called training wheels. You can only go so far with those on. So what are you going to do after that? So are you ready to elevate into another space, into another energy that's going to test you more than what you've gotten comfortable with? So you've gotten comfortable with this way of being. You've gotten comfortable with what this is, right? Are you ready to test that? Increase it. Because now I'm getting physics energy. When we think of the pendulum swing, there's always a force, okay? There's a push and a pull force. And with that push and that pull force, if there's no force, it's just here. There is no pendulum swinging. I haven't even looked at the dictionary word today. I haven't even got to my email yet. Thank you for reminding. Look, what was the word for today? The pendulum shift. It has to be a force. And if there's no force, it's just here. And it's still not still, because everything is always vibrating, okay? The same way of how gravity is keeping it grounded, okay? So it's something about allowing the pendulum to get back into the swing, but it can only get back into the swing by it doing it, okay? Yeah, I use dictionary.com. I've been using them for a while. I know I had shared it with the butterflies. They send you an email. I haven't used Google. I've been trying to slow down on my Google energy lately, honey. And because the things I've been getting with them and their AI, I'm like, But I love dictionaries for sure. I'm gonna leave that here. Baffle gab. You know what that's giving me? People that just be trying to talk and ain't really saying nothing because they want to be heard. Like, but I get, confusing or generally. So basically, people talking in like their own jargon and all that other jazz, but like it doesn't make sense. So like in a way, I guess Pig Latin could be one as well. Or just someone just making up that because they want to be unintelligible. So yeah. I haven't really, I don't know. It's like the things Google are doing right now. I'm like, child, they, and you know, they own everything, and they going around owning all these other ones, you know. Look, I was like, the other one, I had a talk with the ancestors in regards to that, and I was just like, you know what? They reminded me, stop worrying about it. Those who want to do it, gonna do it. Those who don't, they not. You said, stop that baffle gab. Stop that baffle gag. Look, I'm probably about to just end up turning off the likes for my live videos anyway. And that's where it comes in with difficulty with Google, you know. Tisha, how do you get to the Google word of the day? But like, that's the thing. So like, I like Google Scholar when I'm not in a college. I like Google Scholar to get my research. But when I'm in a college, I use their library because their library be off the freaking chains. So I'm back to having to use Google Scholar again because I graduated. I graduated. I'm a doctor now. So I ain't got access to the library no more. That's one of the worst things. I was so sad about losing my access to the library, y'all. When I tell y'all I got this one library book that's left that I got to return in the next couple of weeks, and I'm just like, damn, this the end. This the end, okay? And so, yeah, it's like the things that they're doing in the AI space, it's a little scary, but it's not scary. Like, I know I'm protected and good, you know what I'm saying? We are protected and good, but it's, yeah. So it's just like figuring out how to make sure we're keeping ourselves protected. So lately I've been like, let me make sure I'm doing untracked things where they can't trace your stuff, you know what I'm saying? All that. Cause honey, see, I don't want them sending it to my phone. Do they have a website too? What was the word for theirs today? I can't get over Tay said when somebody started. Stop all that baffle gap. Stop all that baffle gap. You like Google Scholar more? That's the first time I've heard someone say that over a library. So now I wonder, what's your research topic area? Because I guess that could be it too. Because a lot of research topics is hard to find in certain libraries than what it would be on there. Hey, you over there doing all that baffle gap. Doing all that baffle gab up over there. To the 66 people in here, if you have not followed my new channel, go to the linked pinned comment, okay, and go to my new channel, Doctress Simone, and go on and get subscribed to that channel. That's all I'm asking for in regards to an energy exchange, especially to those who have not liked the video. You know, y'all can at least just subscribe to the other channel for me. Butterfly School of Transformation enrollment is open until Saturday. You can get to that from my website at monicole.com. All personal readings can be booked from my website as well at monicole.com. All past life regressions, hypnotherapy sessions can be booked from my website at monicole.com. Everything is on monicole.com. Okay?